Adidas just got a new CEO, Nike is changing up the way they give out exclusive access, and the Jordan 1 lost and found. Maybe the resale prices aren't as high as we imagined. We're going to be getting into all of those topics and a lot more in this video. Let's go. So the first topic on the agenda. So Nike, it seems, is switching up the way they give out exclusive access, basically trying to make it a lot more fair to especially users who have taken a lot of L's in the past. For Jordan 1 releases, apparently exclusive access will be given out for the upcoming Chicago lost and found to users who've had at least 20 different L's on Jordan 1 releases in the past. And when it comes to Nike dunks such as the Kentuckys and the Syracuse, EA will be given out to users who've lost at least 25 dunk releases in the past. And I bet you guys are thinking what I'm thinking, which is, well, I guess that means everyone's gonna get exclusive access now, right? But it's pretty unclear what they mean exactly. Does it mean 25 losses consecutively? Like, what if you got a few W's in between, maybe some sneakers you didn't really even like all that much? Does that now completely ruin your chances? Also, what if you are a brand new user of the Nike app? Does that mean you now have to get 25 L's in order to get exclusive access? That seems a little weird. And also, what if you're someone who just doesn't like every single colorway of the Jordan 1 or every single colorway of the dunks? So you only enter the raffles of the dunks that you actually truly like. So maybe you haven't even entered 25 different raffles. What happens to those users, right? Well, I guess it's a step in the right direction. Nike's at least trying to make the sneakers app more fair. I would not want to be them. I would not want to be the people in charge of making this system fair, because it doesn't really seem like there's any easy answer. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you guys think about this new system? Personally, if I was Nike, I'd be using this time and money to filter out as many bots and resellers from the platform as possible. And I would personally just eliminate exclusive access altogether. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. How do you guys think Nike should handle this? Next, let's move on to the most hyped release of the year, upcoming on November the 19th, the Jordan 1 Chicago lost and found. And I wanted to look at something I've just been noticing on the resale market, and that is the current sales on the sneaker are definitely dropping quite a bit in price. Currently, a lot of sales in the low 400s to even below that. I've seen some 350s, 375s in there, and we're still over 2 weeks from the release, which suggests that the prices might drop even further as we head closer and closer to that release date. And let's be honest, for most people, these prices right now are a lot lower than what we initially imagined. I was looking at predictions anywhere from like $600 to $1,000. The fact that 2 weeks before the release, we're already seeing sales in the low 400s, I think that's a very encouraging sign for anyone that truly wants this sneaker. And we also know, by the way, that the stock of the shoe will be the highest of any Jordan 1 ever, which is why I do think the prices might continue coming down as we head closer to the release. And if you look at just the number of sales we're seeing currently way before the release, that tells me a couple of things. First of all, clearly the back door has been left wide open at some stores, because the amount of sales happening right now, there's no way this can be happening without backdooring. And honestly, I would be a bit careful buying these on the resale market, because from what I've seen, there's a lot of replicas floating around, a lot of really good replicas of this sneaker, which could be passing as authentic. In fact, I would actually like to buy a really good replica of that shoe and make a comparison video for you guys, but I'm not really sure where to get the best replica shoes. If any of you guys can help me out with that, leave a comment telling me where I can get the best replica Jordan 1 lost and found. I would appreciate that. Question for you guys is, how low do you think these prices are gonna go right after the release? Typically 1 week after the release is when we see the prices at the lowest. So what do you guys think the prices will be in that time? And also, how much are you guys willing to spend on this shoe? Let me know. By the way, very quickly, if this is your first time on the channel, my name is Josh. I'm doing all types of sneaker videos, at least 3 videos a week. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel and give me a follow on all of my social medias, as well as check out the best sneaker podcast out there, the Kickback Pod. All of the links are in the description. Moving on to some Adidas news. So Adidas just announced a new CEO, and that is Bjorn Gulden, who was most recently the CEO of Puma, and he has been the Puma CEO since 2013. I thought this was pretty funny considering the history between these two brands. In case you guys didn't already know that story, so before Adidas, there was a company called Gata, which was actually a sports manufacturing brand which was managed by two brothers, Adi Dassler and Rudy Dassler. They had a big falling out and decided to dissolve that company and create their own companies, which was Adidas and Puma. And the two companies and the brothers themselves remained bitter rivals until the very end. In fact, the two brothers are actually buried at the same cemetery, but at complete opposite ends. Fast forward to 2022, you have a Puma CEO becoming becoming the new Adidas CEO, I feel like they're probably rolling in their graves right now. A pretty interesting hire from Adidas. Puma, at least in the sneaker world, seems to be a bit of an afterthought, but they have managed to get quite a few high-profile celebs on their roster, such as Kylie, Jay-Z, as well as Rihanna. Adidas is probably hoping that Golden brings some of that same energy because Adidas just lost their biggest high-profile collaborator, so let's see how it goes. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Speaking of Adidas, so we just saw this image leak of Bad Bunny's latest colorway on the Forum Low. So he was at a recent concert wearing this white pair. We've seen several of these shoes in the past, including an all black colorway, the Back to School pair. So it was pretty much about time that we get a nice clean white colorway. Also, as a side note, I just realized that Bad Bunny is probably the biggest collaborator or the most high profile collaborator that Adidas has right now that Yeezy has left. Are you guys gonna be copying this white pair? A very, very clean colorway. Some more news from Nike. So Nike just announced that they have dropped Kyrie Irving from the roster. Effective immediately, there will no longer be any more Kyries being produced, including the upcoming Kyrie 8 was canceled. And it's too bad, to be honest, because I think Kyrie had some of the best looking basketball sneakers out there, maybe outside of Jordan Brand, of course, but there's been some really memorable Kyries in the past. Nike even put out this statement saying that they do not support any form of hate speech or anti-Semitism. When reading some of the comments of this news, I noticed that the reaction was very different than when Kanye got dropped by Adidas. I thought it was interesting that Nike used the word hate speech because, unless I'm mistaken, Kyrie didn't actually say anything. He posted a link to an anti-Semitic video on Amazon, which he did actually apologize for after. He apologized to the Jewish community and anyone he may have offended with that link, something that Kanye refused to do. But of course, let me know down in the comments, how did you guys feel about Nike's move? And finally, this last bit of news, and I would even call this the release of the week, that was the Kith collab on the Asics X89, a sneaker that I had never heard of before, and I think most people had never heard of. So Ronnie Feig dug really deep into the Asics archives to find this shoe, and he did his thing on it, putting 3 absolutely beautiful colorways on this, especially that blue and orange pair. That's got to be one of the cleanest releases of the year. As expected, they were raffled off. They sold out almost instantly online, and unfortunately, from what I can see, there's been absolutely no news about a European release, so I don't actually think they're going to release in Europe. I could be wrong, of course. I hope I'm wrong, because it does seem that this model, the X89, seems to be the first real answer we've seen to the New Balance 550. It's a nice retro looking shoe that seems to be quite easy to wear and could go with most outfits, and it's a pretty nice alternative from your bigger brands like Nike and Adidas. I really think this model can be huge for Asics. It could be probably their top selling shoe. I'm definitely very excited to get more colorways. Let me know, did you guys manage to hit on this raffle, and what did you just generally think about this shoe? Thank you guys so much for watching this video and for supporting the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.